Hey, so a bunch of people on my other video asked me if I can do a more in-depth guide on axe crafting, especially with mid-tier axes and like early maps axes. So I decided to go all the way back and sort of show all the way through. So I want to do a guide that goes from Act 1 all the way to killing Ubers in terms of what axe crafts you need or you'd want. So this is going to be a pretty long guide. It's also going to be aimed at newer players as well. So I'm going to be describing really basic stuff, but that will get less and less as the guide gets on. So basically when we start crafting the sort of mid-tier to end game axes, I'll be using more jargon and lingo that you might not be familiar with, but I'll try to describe that at the beginning of the video. So if that makes sense. Basically the guide's going to get more in depth as the higher tier crafts come, but I will be trying to describe everything from a new so a new player could understand it if they've got like a basic understanding of PoE. So with the reason axes are important, obviously, is it's your weapon that does DPS, but there's a bunch of different aspects to that's important in PoE. The more damage you have, the less damage you take, because you're gonna be killing things faster, so they have less chance to kill you. If you're going around leap slamming and killing mobs in one hit, they have no chance to do any damage to you. So offense is actually a form of defense in PoE. Also, you know, if you kill a boss faster, it's going to do less damage to you and things like that. So it's a hugely important thing, and builds feel a lot better if they do a lot of DPS. That can be a big issue for people who haven't upgraded their axe in a while or whatever. In Boneshatter, it can make the build feel a lot worse, especially in PoE where there's so many modifiers to monster damage now. Like for instance in Blight, you can have monsters that are, have more HP than Uber Elder and things like that. So it's important to have a high DPS, as high as you can. It makes the game feel a lot better. So yeah, I'm just going to be starting off in Act 1. You'll start using like corroded blades and things. This is actually the exact upgrade that I used. This is the exact upgrade path I used this league pretty much. So I started off with corroded blade. I'm just going to go through each item at the start. So if you want, you can take note. So corroded blade into longsword, and you just pick these up as you go, like the base item. And then you into wood splitter, into double axe. So this is like each base that you're gonna want throughout the game. And you can see it's this is the item level. So you hold Alt on your item, and it has more description of what exactly it is. And it'll also tell you, for instance, see this has got an implicit modifier, and an implicit modifier is like the top modifier on an item. So you see, for instance, my helmet has 2 implicit modifiers on it. It's the 2 modifiers above that golden line there. So that's what an implicit is. Also, each item in Path of Exile can have up to 6 explicit modifiers. Modifiers are the explicit modifiers, everything below that golden line there. Okay. So this helmet has 6 of those. You can see also those explicit modifiers. So yeah, they got 2 basic types, which is implicit, the ones above the golden line, and explicit, which is the ones below the golden line. Okay, and you can modify these with currency. Okay, now you can see as well the top 3 explicit modifiers there. They've got prefix in front of them. So it will have 3 prefixes and 3 suffixes. So you can see the first one is prefix modifier Mammoth, and its defense is it tells you the tag on it too. We won't get into that yet, but yeah, each item in PoE can have 3 prefixes and 3 suffixes for gear. So yeah, 3 prefixes and 3 suffixes. So that's the basics of what you craft around. And then you see it'll have a tier. So the first one is a prefix modifier with tier 1, second one's tier 1, third one's tier 4, and the rest are tier 1s, and then tier 2 lightning resistance at the end there. So you can see the tiers there, you know. So the lower the number, the better with tiers. So tier 1's the best one, and like tier 13 is trash. But yeah, so implicits and explicits, and then with your explicits, that sounds so complicated. With your explicits, you got 3 prefixes and 3 suffixes. But that's all you really need to remember, that you can have 3 prefixes and 3 suffixes, okay? So yeah. But yeah, you hold Alt here, and it will tell you the item level. So this Corroded Blade is item level 4, Longsword's item level 14, you know. But yeah, that doesn't really matter for now. So this Corroded Blade can be used at any level. This one requires level 8, this longsword here, requires level 8 and then 20 strength and 17 dexterity for you to wield it, to be able to fit it. I got Eve talk there. To be able to use it. To fit it to your ship. Now, and then you got a wood splitter there. So that's level 13, level 23. So this is all like when it will also drop from monsters basically as well. It'll be, you know, monster needs to be level 23 for it to drop this item. So you can see this is like sort of, as I went through the axe, you use this kind of path to upgrade my axe as I went from swords to axes, because the earlier swords are a lot better than the earlier axes. You start using axes with wood splitter here. So I'll just go through the base types. So maybe if you're a new player and you're starting the game, you can maybe write them down or whatever, and you can know what items to look for. I personally have got a filter that filters me these items. So when I start a league, I can see the item easy. And I'm not going to get into loot filters in this guide, but I will get into Craft of Exile and a little bit, not thoroughly, just enough to talk about axes basically. I don't know enough to get into it thoroughly. I just know about axes. Okay, and so yeah. So Corroded Blade first, Longsword second. You don't need to follow this exactly, but if you want to follow it exactly, you can too. You know, it's whatever, up to you. Wood Splitter third, Double Axe fourth, Shadow Axe, and you just pick these up as you get higher and higher levels. Labrys fifth, Ezomite Axe sixth, and then Despot Axe, your highest one. Sweet. So with your first sword, you're probably not going to have anything yet because you just started the game. Jeez, I've only got 1 transmute. Oh, there you go. Yes. So you might just like use the I'm not going to actually use it because I might need it. But that will turn it. Oh, I gotta use it, I guess. That'll turn it magic, and hopefully, oh look, gave me some damage. There we go. So I just used the transmute, and it will give you between 1 and 2 modifiers. So it's giving me a prefix and a suffix. It can only ever give you either 1 prefix or 1 suffix or both. So it will either give you 1 modifier or 2 modifiers. Yeah. So this is about what you'll see. So this is really lucky actually. So that made it do a lot more damage. But yeah, just using 1 transmute is about all you'd ever do for the starting thing, because you'll get to 2 higher levels that like you'll level up to 8 really quickly. So you don't really need to spend any currency on this, and you're not going to have much anyway, you know, to spend. Okay, now I'll do the same thing with the longsword, maybe a transmute if that. This is when I had the wood splitter here. So yeah, that's about the all the crafting you'd want to do on these. Well, I hit the wood splitter here. I'll probably, because you got like 10 levels to your next upgrade pretty much. So probably just do a crafting recipe on it. And the crafting recipe, I'll get 3 rusted. Okay. So I just used it. I was trying to get a magic because I got no transmutes. Okay. Okay, so this is the crafting recipe I'll show you. If you sell an item to a vendor, I'll go to Act 1 just to... So you can actually see the vendors, because if you're a newer player, it might not be that understandable. Okay, so you go to whatever vendor it is, and you can see I've got these rustic sashes here, and also a blacksmith whetstone. Now, if I sell these to the vendor, that doesn't work. It'll so it needs to be magic or rare. You need a magic or rare rustic sash, and this is the belt. So make sure you pick up rustic sashes in the beginning of the game. So if I do the magic one, you'll see it goes from being just a normal wood splitter to a blue wood splitter, which is a magic item, with 44% increased physical damage. You know, and you can see the physical damage there went from 19 to 39 to 27 to 56. So I increased that by 44%. So it gives you a lot more damage. Okay. And then a rare one, it'll give you 59%. So that's a lot more, right? So in the beginning, it can be either magic or rare. It doesn't really matter for your wood splitter. But this is the first level that you'll start using this this vendor recipe, it's called. Yeah, so this is what you'd use. So 1 blacksmith whetstone, one rustic sash. That has to be either magic or rare. It can't be normal. It has to be either blue or yellow. Just an embarrass. So that's what I'd use on that. And that's what you'd use basically all the way up to your Ezomite axe. So, but the caveat is you might start using blacksmith whetstones. If you start getting a whole bunch of them, which you should be able to start using your blacksmith whetstones on your gear. So probably start using it at around sort of shadow axe, I guess. I'd start, if you pick up a white shadow axe, how many have I got? If you pick up, I'll show you this actually. Yep. So if you have a white shadow axe here, and you use a blacksmith whetstone on it, each blacksmith whetstone. Forgot to D&D, guys. Whoops. What is that? Jewel. Expensive jewel? Yeah, that's trade, not D&D. Sorry. So yeah, if you use blacksmith whetstone on it, it'll go up to 5% quality if it's a white item. Okay, now this is a bit of a trap, because if it's blue, like this item is, it only goes up 2%. Okay, you see that? And then if it's yellow, which is rare, So I just made this item rare with an orb of alchemy. So it's yellow and it gets 4 mods. So if you use an alch on it, it'll give it at least 4 mods. But yeah, if it's yellow, you only get 1% quality per blacksmith whetstone. Okay, so that means, so I've used 1 blacksmith whetstone on each one of these, right? And you can see the quality at the top there. It says quality plus 1%. This one says quality plus 5%. And then this one says quality plus 2%. So each blacksmith whetstone has less value on the higher rarity it is. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you use your blacksmith whetstones, if you're going to use them, on the item when it's white, when you haven't upgraded it yet, and then you want to upgrade it. So you want to use it then, and that's like only after that would you want to do the recipe. Okay, so you'd want to make sure it's 20% first, and then do the recipe, because if you do it afterwards, it's going to take 10 times as many. Well, it's going to take like 10 blacksmith whetstones instead of 4, right? So yeah, so that's why you do it that way around with the recipe there. Okay, if that makes sense. So yeah, this is a sort of upgrade path I used. So corroded blade, blah blah blah, all the way up, and then yeah, you start using the recipe on the wood splitter. From the wood splitter up, you start using the rustic sash. Also, you can not only use, there's also other currency items you can use. In the beginning you won't want it, but you can use orb of bindings as well to upgrade your rustic sashes, and you can use alchemy orbs. But these are really bad to use on those initially. But you can use them if you're desperate. The best thing to use is use like shitty essences like this, and then it will make it rare, and then you can use the, when you start getting essences, you can just use these, because you're never going to use them otherwise, you're only going to use them to upgrade later, but they're pretty useless early. And so you'd use these on your belts, just these crappy essences. Yeah, and then because you can buy these rustic sashes from vendors as well, so or pick them up. Also, if you pick up yellow ones, obviously you'd use those as well. So yeah, if you're in a bind, you can use don't use these on them initially. Use crappy essences. Or pick them up. Cool. And so that's how you basically get all the way through the axe with that. Okay. You can get into maps with that, with just using that. So you can get to maps using just that vendor recipe. So let's say, this here, right? So this is the Ezomite axe. You can put these up from level 62 onwards. So that's like Act 9 or 10. If you use your vendor recipe, give me this. Okay. So I'll give you the 59% increased damage. You can then use an orb of augmentation. So what this does, it'll add, if it's only got 1 magic modifier on it, and it can only be used on magic items, it'll give it another one. So it gives it a lot of accuracy rating, which is actually really, really useful when you're starting out. And then you can use a regal orb, and this will upgrade it to rare. So you give it just a crappy one, it doesn't matter. Because then you'll come down, you can use your crafting bench. So this is a crafting bench here. It'll be in your hideout. So once you've made your hideout, you can place your crafting bench, and that's where a lot of your crafting is done. Okay, so let's say we're just starting to get into maps and we found this item. Now we want to craft our first, basically early maps item. So we've vendor recipe'd it, and then after you've done that, we've got if you don't get flat physical on it with the regal orb, which is very highly likely you don't, you'll just craft flat physical on it. And flat physical, I'll show you when I find it, is this one. So that's the one that gives a number to physical damage rather than a percentage increased. Okay, so you put that on. Now you probably won't put this one on because it's 4 chaos, you might not have that. So this one's 2 outs, you're probably likely to have that. And you just made, this is a 300 DPS axe, okay? And that will get you started in maps. Okay, so I'll get you like really started. And then once you've got enough contempts, so this is sort of like at the end of the campaign, you'd sort of use this like to kill like Katava and Act 10. You'd use this, and in early maps, you could use this even more throughout it. And then if you want to upgrade it, you just put 1 deafening essence of or shrieking essence of contempt on it. Which just I think I got lucky there. Yeah, I got really lucky there. But that just made it a 379 DPS axe. But I don't get really lucky. I mean that's just average luck. But then, so you'll see. So what you do with that, I can hold Alt down and it'll tell me like all the different modifiers on it. So I've got 3 prefixes on this and I've got 2 suffixes. Even though it's pretty confusing because it's got a lot of writing under the second suffix. There's this description. The bleeding is 1 suffix. Give me some lightning resistance. But I've got a slot for another suffix, right? And the best thing to put on is attack speed. So with this axe here, you can put on increased attack speed. Probably something like that. And that's brought it to a 424 DPS axe, which is fine for early maps. Will do the job. And it's also give you more attack speed, and more attack speed with Boneshatter axes is really, really important. That's why we use these particular bases, because for different reasons. There's actually a lot of reasons why. One of them is you can leap slam around faster, which means you clear maps faster. Because your attacks per second, you see that attacks per second number, that 1.51 number, that also affects how fast you can leap slam around. If you have less attacks per second, your leap slam is slower, because leap slam counts as an attack, so attack speed affects it. So yeah, you can run around faster, which means you can farm faster. Means you level up faster, means you get gear faster, things like that. So yeah, it's all and with Boneshatter obviously you're stacking trauma, and so your higher attack speed means you stack more trauma stacks. So yeah, it's very important to have higher attack speed with Boneshatter. But yeah, things you don't want on these axes necessarily is like crit, because that's pretty useless for Boneshatter. So this is a fine early map sack. Early map sacks. You just use that. Yeah. So I was thinking about using craft, showing you how to use craft of Exile. So let's first craft our mid-game axe. So let's say before we get a fractured base, we find a desperate axe, right? So yeah, so that gets you out of campaign. Just that crafting recipe gets you out of campaign and these bases. So you find these bases, you up it to 20% with the whetstones, and then you do that crafting recipe with the 1 shard and the with the 1 blacksmith whetstone, your 20% weapon, and your rustic sash, and that right there will get you out of get you into maps. and you can use your augment on it to get another mod. And then later on, if you get enough regals, you can start using those on it, but that's not a big deal. You're fine with blue items. Okay, another weird thing about this game is that the quality of your weapon or armor also affects the amount of like the chance that you can roll higher. I don't have many Jeweler's orbs. Like higher numbers of sockets on it. So it's easier to roll like 6 sockets if you have higher quality. And it's also easier to link 6 links if you have higher quality. If an item has 0% quality, it usually takes about 1500 fusings to link it, to 6 link it. If an item has 20% quality, it'll take around 1200 fusings to 6 link it. So there's a difference that quality makes with linking item, and it makes the same percentage increase as well for sockets, adding sockets with jewelers as well. So that's the higher quality it is, the easier it is to 6 link. But yeah, we'll have a look at a mid game. So let's say you haven't found a fractured item yet. This is a fractured item, by the way. It's got the sort of gold text rather than the normal blue text. So because it's got the gold text, that modifier can't be altered. But I'll get into that soon. Let's say you want a mid game, so that's your early game axe, right? Say you want a kind of like a sort of early, this is another early to mid game axe. Maybe kind of mid game. So I'd use probably Shrieking Essences, but I don't have those, so I'll try to use one. Actually, we'll get this. I almost forgot. First, I gotta get it to 20% quality, right? Gotta remember that with the whetstone. Sweet. Okay, now essences are a little bit different, weird. Let's actually check this out. So, I've got a whispering here. Actually, let's. Where does it? Where can I start rolling it? Okay, so once you get into screaming essences, so they got different essence levels, right? So you got your lower ones and you got your higher ones. But once you get into screaming essences, you can actually use them to re-roll rare items. Before that, you can only make a normal item rare with it. Okay. So at the start, they sort of act like an alchemy orb. But once you get into screaming onwards, you can actually re-roll the item. It works more like a chaos orb. Okay. Alright. So yeah, for your first like sort of mid-tier axe, you'd use like oh, that roll. Like that would be perfect actually, because it adds attack speed. Okay, this is fine. for a mid-tier axe, this is fine. No, for a early to mid-tier axe, this is fine. Like just using a deafening essence on it. This is 540 DPS. It's an upgrade from our old axe. That's fine. Okay, so you just basically use one essence on it. Actually, no, you'd use when you have more. It's like we've already used. Like when you have more essences, you'd go until you get anything else that's crap. Yeah, what is that? Some flat and flat. No. So you go basically until you get like attack speed, or like this, which is it gives us a physical. Shit. So you basically go until you get attack speed or some good physical numbers. It's really hard to be specific with what to look for, because you basically want something with DPS. So basically, you just want DPS. So what I'd recommend doing is getting PoE Awakened, which is a add-on. It's and that way when you can push like Control D, and it'll tell you this is what this thing is. It'll tell you the DPS on the weapon. Or you can just look at the numbers. So yeah, this is like for a mid-tier axe, I think. You're just like after your early maps, just start spamming until you get something like reasonable. You kind of want something that you can craft percent fizz or attack speed on. Enough TFC. It's already a mid game, it's more like early game. So yeah, let's carry on. T4 I think will do. Yeah, I think for like a sort of mid-game axe. Like this is like early mid, so it's not like extra. It's not extra shit. It's early mid. So this is like an early. Here's attack speed. Alright, let's chuck attack speed on it. Let's have a look. It's got 3 prefixes and 2 suffixes, so I can put another suffix on it. Let's do that. Gain 6. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. Okay, and this is a 680 DPS axe. Right, so that's that'll do. It's good mid-game axe. You can do. It'll take you to red maps. Pretty much, pretty easily. Yeah. So this will take you to red maps. You'll be able to stomp T16s with this. You won't be able to. It's not great for delirium stuff, but it'll do the job. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so this is if you've got a fractured base. Where it's this is sort of a more sort of mid-game axe now. This is like your. This is like when you're doing T16s, but you want to start doing Deliria stuff, and you want to kill like Shaper and all those people. Right. So this is so you'll up the quality. Make it rare with the Regal Orb. And we want to spam Contempts on it until we get T4 hybrid. Okay. Take that out. So we want T4 plus hybrid physical and accuracy. Let me type those in here. Now this is a keyword that items that highlights them. So I can just like blindly. It's cheeky. So, yeah. If I get lucky, because I don't think I've got enough contempts. On average, it's a 1 in 100 chance. T5. I think yeah, I think T5 is alright for this. Yeah, T5 is alright for this. That'll do. And then with the benefit to this way of doing it is you can then choose if you want a poison axe, you can choose it with your crafting. So you can do your physical damage, or you can just do straight up just raw physical damage. So that's up to you. So a lot of people add or impale as well. So just do raw physical damage. And you can roll over this with the crafting modifier. So it's 105%. See, that's the lower end. So you really want closer to 129. It costs an Exalt and a Scar each time though, so you know, very expensive. So I'm getting pretty unlucky. I just want something over 120. There we go. I probably won't use this many Exalts on it in real life, but okay, that'll do. Okay, well, that's 795 DPS. You know, that's almost 800 DPS. Sweet, they'll do the job. So they'll kill those bosses. They'll kill Shaper easy. Almost 800 DPS, and I think it's even got a free suffix as well. You know, so you can put an Exalt on that. Gain 8 life per enemy killed. Easy peasy. Very useful. Okay. So this is sort of your mid-game axe. Okay, so this is Steady from the Future. I just remembered I forgot to show you how to use perfect fossils on the axe, which is what I should have done before I started crafting it. So I'm just going to insert this in here, and then just remember that you got to use perfect fossils on it if you want to up the quality, or later on you can use Hillock to craft it like I did with this, well, like I will do with another axe that you'll see in the future. Ooh. Anyway, this is how you use perfect fossils. So you get the perfect fossil, and you get single resonators. You hold shift, and you don't do two. And you put the fossil in the resonator like that, and you can use it. 28%. I'll be happy with that. That's where I'd stop. It can roll between 15 and 30%. So yeah, 28% is fine. But that's how you use one. You just put one in the resonator like this. Yeah, off you go. 28% again. But you see it re-rolls all the mods on it. So you got to do it before you start the craft, if you're going to do it that way. Otherwise, you just use Hillock. Okay, cool. Carry on. Okay, now let's do. So this is going to be basically the same as the crafting video I did before. This is sort of end game axe that I'm this next one I'm going to craft. So it's a similar process. I'm just going to spam contempts on it, but I am going to only stop when I get to T4 or above. T4 physical and accuracy. So I've got those. T6. I really hope I got enough essences. I might not. So it's 1 in 100. Oh shit! I just rolled over it. Whoops. Hopefully it wasn't actually one. Don't do that. Don't do the old double click. I'll look back in slow motion and see what it was. So that's fine enough. No, it's not high enough. There's like 19% physical, you know, it's, what's that, 33% is T6. And it is a mixture. So this is a bit of a tricky one, you know, when it mixes up the prefix and accuracy. Yeah. So that we want one. We want it to be one mod, not two separate mods. start it again. It's T7. It's a really low one. T4. Okay, we're happy with that. We got no. Oh, this is perfect. All right, cool. So we got no other prefixes. If we got another prefix to fill in there, I would have tried to annul it using a orb of annulment, which removes a modifier on use. Luckily we didn't. So I'm going to go to my trusty Veiled Chaos Orb. I'm going to craft prefixes can't be changed. And then fingers crossed. Did we get a prefix? Yes, we got a prefix. Alright, perfect. So we can't craft anything to block it. Just unveil it. Now we got a bleeding axe. Nice. Okay. The only thing is my suffixes are full. So I have to, fingers crossed, and annulus. Knew it was too easy. So I had to try and annul a suffix off it, which is gonna hit a prefix, honestly. Okay. So for the next stage of my craft, I need to have one free suffix. So we'll see how we go. What's this DPS already? 679, which isn't great. Okay. So this is where you pray to Chris Wilson and see what happens. Oh no, what happened? I nailed off the hybrid, so start again. So that's what happens when things seem too easy. It's because they are. There's T6. Oh man, that looked good. No, that's T4, yeah. It's T4, normal fizz. T5, nah, not gonna stop there this time. T4 plus. If it seems like I'm running over hybrid mods, it's because they're too low. That one's just too low, 22%. That one didn't even exist. T6. Too low. Too low. Too low. Too low. Didn't exist. Didn't exist. Doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. T5. Alright. Too low. Too low. Doesn't exist. Too low. Oh, it doesn't exist actually. Doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. Oh shit. I accidentally double clicked again. That's a problem. What was clicking in this game, man? Honestly. That's too low, obviously. 16%, not having that. Doesn't exist. T4, alright. But it's got full socket, so we need 2 good annuls, so we'll see how that goes. So I need to annul off the lightning damage, and I need to annul off any random suffix. So fingers crossed. Alright. What did I just get? A suffix. Okay, now I need to annul the lightning damage. No. Okay. Back to the grind. Too low. T6. Too low. Doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. T4, nice. Oh, this is actually pretty good. This is just a straight up 700 DPS X, nice. But now I have to annul off the fizz, the T4 fizz. But I could, if you didn't care about the impale or the poison or whatever, you could just annul off a suffix. Well, if you can. Let's see. Okay, so I annulled off a suffix. So if I didn't want to unveil something good, then I would just from here I'll just have it. Because it's T4, which is basically the same as the unveils. T4 T4 just straight fizz, the bloodthirsty mod. And I didn't want poison, I didn't want impale. I would usually just go from here. But I do. Let's say I do want to unveil something, so I'm going to carry on. But yeah, this is a good axe right here. Well, almost a good axe. And I'll show you soon what I mean when I actually get it. Oh, actually, I'll try and annull it. Oh yeah, nice. No, I annulled the wrong one. All right. Doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. Too low. Too low. Too low. Too low. Doesn't exist. Too low. Too low. T7, nice. Too low. Too low. Too low. T4, nice. Okay. Oh, it's already got a text speed on it. Actually, this is fucking. Well, no, it's not because I need an extra prefix. Okay, so I need a. Alright, I need another suffix off it. So fingers crossed I nail the suffix. And I nailed the. Okay. Yeah, so we're looking for. Free suffix and a free prefix. So we can continue the craft. Doesn't exist. So what's that? T6. T7. Doesn't exist. T5. Too low. Too low. Too low. Too low. T5. Time to run out. Doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. Too low. That doesn't exist actually. Too low. Too low. Too low. Too low. Doesn't exist. Too low. Too low. T3, nice. Alright, so I've got to null off the cold. Alright, let me do something that everyone hates. Everyone hates me doing this, but it's the best way to do it. Don't at me. So what I'm doing is I'm adding another modifier so it doesn't hit one of the ones, it's got a less chance to hit one of the ones I want. Everyone thinks it's a waste of currency, and they're half right. It is a waste of currency if you haven't just spent like tens of divines trying to get there. Basically it adds an option. It adds an option that isn't one of the ones one of the modifiers I want to keep. So look, and it worked. No, it didn't. Shit, almost worked. Yeah, see, it works. There you go. Alright, so let's put my nulls back. So it's time to use my Veiled Chaos again. Hopefully it doesn't hit suffix. I'll craft prefixes can't be changed. And we got a prefix, nice. And we got 3 suffixes. Well, unveil it first, I guess. Leadex. Alright. Now we've got to hit a suffix. 50-50. What do we get? Oh yes, we got a suffix. Oh my god, I honestly didn't think it was going to happen. I thought, oh. Alright. Fuck yes. Okay. Ah. Now the next stage is still not over, guys. Still not over. Preferences can't be changed again. Preferences can't be changed. Oh yeah, I gotta explain it. Preferences can't be changed means preferences can't be changed. Well, obviously, but like if you only have 2 prefixes and you put preferences can't be changed, it can add a prefix. So just be careful of that. Okay, so now I want to reforge speed because I want faster attack. I want a faster attack speed. So I want to reforge speed on it. Hopefully it doesn't fill up all the slots. Yeah, oh my god, what is that? That's T1 attack speed. And it didn't give me any more mods, so this is like a perfect axe. Okay. And then next thing to do use old Warlord Exile. What do we get? Chance to maim on hit and Phys damage. Nice, tier 1. Oh, that's beautiful. This is a sick axe. Honestly, this is a sick axe. And then we craft either DD, you can just do double damage. I like to do DD while focused. Got my little button here, 30% more. So we'll just do normal DD, up to you. If you don't have enough buttons, then sure. Let's craft that. 30%. Sick. This is a sick axe. This is 920 DPS. That's another 900 plus DPS axe. Then it does the maim, which is great. So you don't need that. Like that increases. Yeah. Sick axe. Okay. Well, that was spend enough currency on it. Hopefully it is. Okay, so this is sort of in-game axe. This is like the Uber in-game axe here. Okay, so this has got. I wonder if I've got enough essences left now. 20. I took a lot of essences. Alright, so fingers crossed I can just. What am I looking for? Like T3, I think. I might have to buy some more essences, guys, so I went to pause this. But they're expensive now, too. Alright. So we'll just get lucky instead. So this has got fractured increased physical damage on it. So that means if I use my essence, all I'm looking for is hybrid fizz and accuracy, which is actually really hard to get because two of your prefixes are already taken, so you've only got 1 prefix chance to get the fizz accuracy, whereas if normally, like when I rolled that other axe, they had 2 chances because they had 2 prefix slots free when you do an Essence of Contempt on it. But anyway, this is 176% increased physical damage, and I've done the tempering orbs on it. So this is what a tempering orb is, and then when you use it, it rolls this enchantment on the item, and so it increase explicit physical modifier magnitudes means that times is all your it multiplies all your physical modifiers by 1.08, so it's 8% more basically. So it's pretty sick. Right. Anyway, let's get really lucky. Yeah, make it real fast. Actually, that's what I could do. I'd roll it with ults. No, because then a Regal might wreck it. Oh. No, I can't because I'm doing, yeah. Anyway, scratch that. So what? And there's no way I'm gonna get lucky with 20. T6 or something. It's not gonna fly. I need some more. Alright, so I'm back with some more essences. I'm just going to go till T4 and then go through the rest of the craft so you can see what it is. It doesn't have to be the best axe in the world because I'm not even going to use it. So it's just to show. Too low, too low. Usually you probably want like T3, especially because his base is pretty expensive. T3 physical and accuracy, I mean. Because the base is like... No, turn off that. So that's lower. The base is pretty expensive. Yeah. So you probably want at least like T3 physical and accuracy, but this is just to show you how I would craft it. So I'll stop at T4. Because even that will take quite a while. And I'd be actually really lucky to get it. Shit, rolled over it, but that wasn't it anyway. I really gotta stop double clicking. It's a problem with the game and all its clicking, honestly. I remember back when you used to 6-link. Oh, what is this? T4, sweet. Okay, well, yeah, that's it. Okay, well, this is actually a really easy craft compared to the other one because it's really hard to mess up. So I've got 3 suffixes, which is all I really care about. So our craft prefixes can't be changed, and I'm going to Ashling Slam it. I'm not. What speed? Yes, 26%, nice, and no extra. Oh, I just got multi. Oh, it's a critical one though, so if I do... That's not it. See all the tags there? Attack, attack, attack. The critical one says damage and critical. So if I go cannot roll attack modifiers and annul, it should annul off the critical. Or the attack one. Fuck me, all that. Forgot about that. Right. Oh shit, I almost did the wrong one. Hang on. Unless this does count as an attack modifier, that'd be annoying. Yes! Right. Haha! So I nailed off the critical there. So yeah, if you do cannot roll, then it and you annul, then it can't annul anything with an attack modifier. So there you go. That's a little pro tip there. So we got off that critical there, and with T1 attack speed again. All right. This is time to Ashling. So we do multi-mod prefixes can't be changed. Wait, do we? Where's two? Oh yeah, yeah. Multi-mod prefixes can't be changed, so there's a higher chance of hitting those. Hopefully. Alright, this is where it gets expensive. Because the Ashling can hit. She can hit the increased attack speed. Oh, please don't. Pretty please. Alright, so I'm just gonna do. Okay, I'll show you this too. So this is how you do an Ashling. So you make sure that Ashling's at 3 stars in research, and that is the leader of research. It doesn't have to be ready to go. The safe house doesn't have to be ready to go. It just has to be 3 stars and the leader of research. I'm not going to tell you all about how to do this. What's this called? Betrayal or whatever. Because I don't really know a lot about it. I just like kick them out until I get them to the right places, pretty much. Or like you sit them down here, and also you can release them, and it does nothing. Anyway, and this is Hillock in transportation. So that's what I'm going to use to get. He can make a weapon in transportation. He can make the weapon 30% quality. When he's in fortification, he can make an armor 30% quality. So this is how I'm going to get my Ashling and my Hillock. Anyway, I'll do this. So fingers crossed this works. Because it's got a 1 in 3 chance. It's got a... It's got a 1 in 3 chance to just well, bricked item, kind of. Well, not bricked item, to get the wrong. I hope it doesn't roll attack speed. Alright, now this is what an Ashling looks like. By the way, I don't know if you haven't seen one before, this is what it looks like. It's just this table here. Syndicate crafting bench. Put in your item, craft it, hopefully it doesn't hit attack speed. And it didn't! Yes! Oh! But it's not over. It's not over. It's not over yet. Oh! Okay. Oof. Yeah, I can't like wait. I have to do it immediately because then I just get nervous. Oh man, it's a nice turret. Because then I'll have to farm up another Ashling, you know. It's make the video even longer. You have to watch me farm an Ashling. Sweet, and I'll show you the Hillock. I guess I have some chaoses. I want them. I want to put my gloves on. Those are my gloves. I don't really care about that. Okay, so here's the... Sweet, now it's 30%. It's 1030 DPS at the moment. Not finished yet, but... There's two. Normal item? What did you go there? Oh, lucky I looted some portal scrolls. Alright. Put away all my stuff. Why did I pick up? Oh, okay. Sorry guys, I just don't really care about this stuff. Let's put it on. Alright. So to continue on with the craft. So I've got a veil on it now. And we need a what's called block other possible things that can roll. So for instance, it's got a high chance. A lot of people would do... You want to block something you don't want, basically. You want to put on, craft something you don't want. So a lot of people do power like frenzy charges. I find for this one, I think the stats ones are the most annoying ones for me. So I'm going to try this. If it works, I'm a genius. If it doesn't, I'm an idiot. So I want to block and just looking to unveil double damage, any double damage or any attack speed while around unique. Fingers crossed. Nice! Double damage! Perfect. Okay. And now I can craft on this one, increased attack speed while a real unique enemy is nearby. I roll it till it's 22. Actually, let me look at the rolls on this. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about rolling it yet. Let's divide it a bit, eh? What's the possible? It's pretty low. Okay, so at the moment it's 1031, 1011, 1038. How does that look? I didn't go high. 1027. 1069. That sounds good to me. Yeah, that's where it's gonna stay. Nice. And okay, sweet. So divide it up to a better. Let's see what. Okay, so if something else is that much DPS is a bit lower. Let's say it's 1,000. Oh, white sockets. Let's take that off. Okay, so worth like. I bet those are shittier though. Let's say 50. You know, sort of worth. See what these axes compare. Now that's a wasted mod there. You know, ours is way better than that, so it's worth more than 300. Critical strike chance is useless. Ours is more like this. We're like 400-ish. Nice. Nice. I was trying to get back off D&D. Sweet. So that's that. You know, 1069 DPS axe. So, you know, there you go. So that's this is like the ultra endgame axe type thing. This is only ultra endgame as well if you want the DPS over having like impale or poison or whatever on your axe. But yeah, that's basically all the way through. I think I covered most things. And this is the axe I crafted before, which is a poison one, which is like 900 and something. Oh, 800, wait. Where did DPS go? What a crap one. That's 900. Okay. It's got attack speed if you're killed. Yeah, so this is really sick. Oh, wow, and I didn't know that explicit physical also changed the chance to deal double. Oh, no. Oh, no, it doesn't. Okay. Nice, though. Pretty nice axe. Happy with that. So I'll probably just sell it or whatever. It's into the league, doesn't matter. But yeah. So you can go from the beach through to Ubers with this. As I said before, upgrading your axe is important. It's going to make your build feel a lot better, especially if it's Boneshatter. Also, shout out to Khan. I got a lot of information off him, so I'm going to put Khan's guide down in the description. If you're playing Boneshatter, your build's most likely either directly from Khan or inspired by him. So definitely watch his stuff if you want to learn more about Boneshatter. He's extremely onto it. And yeah, thanks for watching the video. It's a bit long, but whatever. Hopefully I got a lot of oh, actually I'll go through some like why I did stuff a bit. Okay. So you're trying not to use a lot of currency on your first axes, because you don't, they're already, just having a good base alone is like a lot of the big upgrades you're going to get. And then so anything extra is just a bonus, you know. So you don't go too hard using your currency on the early axes, and even the early map ones. You know, it's only when you get to like sort of your sort of red maps axe that you start wanting to use a good amount of currency, and also you're not going to have a good amount of currency until you've been farming a bit anyway. So it kind of works out for itself, you know. I mean, this one here is a good, you know, what's that? 400 DPS to 700, yeah. Well, we had one in the middle of the despot axe, but yeah, that's a huge jump up. And then this one here, like this is an end game axe pretty much. Anyway, you know, 920 DPS. Like not many people get above that. So yeah, and this is only an upgrade if you don't need the extra mod that the Unveiled gives you as well. Yeah, it's pretty sick axe actually. Pretty proud of this one. Even though it's only T4, the thing is, it's not a huge difference between T4 and T3 prefixes. So this T3, yes, it's 55 to 64, and that's 45. Yeah, so not a big difference. Well, it is quite a bit. Yeah. But when it goes up to T2 and T1, it's actually only like 5% difference between the levels. Yeah, if you have. Yeah. Why does so? Yeah, I was just trying to show what your progression might be like in the start of a league, through to the mid of a league, and what to aim for in the end, like with this type of thing. So the reason you want increase physical damage to be fractured, like T3 plus, or you want the hybrid physical and attack and accuracy rating, just so you can use contempts on it, you know, because that's how you guarantee your other stat. And you saw I only used like 100 or whatever, 100 deafening contempts to get this. Luckily, to get the hybrid on it, so that was really good. This is actually way easier to craft this one than it was to craft this one, you know, by far. It's not even close, to be honest. Now I'm just going to go a bit into Craft of Exile, just to show you some things you can do with it. So we're at this is the home screen of it, craftofexile.com. So we have the calculator here, simulator and emulator. I don't know what these, I've never clicked these ones before. I don't know what those are. Okay, anyway. You got a calculator, simulator, emulator, and I'll go through them with regards to axes. So two-handed weapon, two-hand axe, click on that. It doesn't really care about anything else because to it doesn't matter. Alright. And now let's say we're crafting it with essences like we've just been doing. Essences of contempt. And let's say what we want is what we were just trying to get, which is increased damage, and we want T4. Right, so that was what we're aiming for both times. It tells us, takes us around on average 100 goes basically. Yeah, 100 goes to get it with the essence of contempt. You go to T3. So it's 200, double as hard, and it kind of goes up exponentially. T2 is 500, and T1 1400. So this will like show you, yeah, just calculates the chance of things happening. Now with the simulator, yeah, you can do a similar thing, but it will actually simulate the axe. So say eye level 83 axe. That's all you need is an eye level 83. Don't need anything higher. Say 20% quality. Now we want T4. And we start on failure. So this is calculating something wrong here. No, there's not something wrong here. Wait, what? Definitely something wrong here. No way. Wait, what? Man, that is really bad luck. Supposed to be 100. Holy, it took 740 goes to get one. Okay, I see it. The ratio's coming down. I thought I put in some wrong. Yeah, so that, I mean, but that was simulating being very extremely unlucky. So that can happen, you know. 740 and only one. Wow. Yeah, okay, so I was averaging back down to 1 in 100, which is where it should be. Eventually, we'll get back down after having that massive start. Stop the simulation, and we can see, and I'll tell you that on average is 114. My cheapest craft is Veiled Chaos, but these prices are all wrong because they're from before. And exalts, it means divines. Costius craft. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's can be unlucky. Sucks to be unlucky. And then it shows you the items that you get if you click on items, and like what that would be. So prefix, and because you need 2 prefixes and 2 suffixes on, or you need to have a free prefix and you want to have a free suffix as well. Otherwise, you start having to use a null through it. So basically, it's a 1 in 100 chance to get the hybrid on there, but then there's basically you're sort of 50-50 with having an extra prefix on there. So you're 50-50 with having to use an annul, you know, at least one, maybe two if your suffixes are also full. So it's kind of like a 1 in 200 chance in reality. And you can actually put that condition in. What was the term they use? Number of prefixes? So max 2. So you can simulate. Well, this doesn't tell the full story either because you can annul off a prefix. But this is the odds, yeah, 1 in 200 chance to have a free prefix basically. Same as, yeah. So it's 50-50. Which is 50-50 with the annul too, so. So it's really like a 1 in 150 chance that you can annul off the. But then again, who knows about the suffixes too? So. Yeah. But you can calculate all that too on here. You can calculate the full craft on here. So this is how I'll show you how you calculate the full craft. So oh, actually I won't because it will take me ages. But you can simulate the full craft on here. You can actually set it up so you can do like if you can have like if conditions. So for instance, you can set it up so increase physical damage. Let's say that's hit, then you can have a next step, which is if its prefixes are full, you can annul it, and then if it annuls off something, you know, on failure, it goes back to the start. But yeah, it's yep, that's that anyway. That's a simulator, and this is the emulator. Let's use calculator settings. Put in despot X. So this shows you all the. There you can basically craft an item here, like physically. Like you can craft yourself. You can add whatever. I added that. But this is really useful for seeing like what prefixes are and what they, you know, what their range, what the weight of it is. So the weight is like what chance it is of rolling on your item, basically. So you can see, and you can see the range of it, the eye level that you need to get there. So you can see we only need an eye level 83x because well, you don't roll for that. You only care about this really. That's eye level 83. And then attack speed is the only other thing you care about. 77, you know. So I only need the eye level 83x to do this. Anything else is unneeded, unnecessary. Well, I guess actually let me have a look at the warlord suffixes. Yeah, okay. You don't need that one. Oh yeah. Yeah, so you don't care about those. Yeah, so eye level 83 is all you need. And that this will tell you. But yeah, you can see like physical damage, range. So you can see physical and physical and accuracy rating, and then flat physical. The only ones that really matter for your prefixes on your axe because everything else is crap. So add chaos damage, you don't care because you only do physical damage if you're using brutality anyway, and things like that. Yeah. You can also see, for instance, warlord. You can see like what warlord prefixes are, and then what warlord suffixes are. So you can see what the possibility is. If you slam it, skills for. I've never had that on an axe. Didn't know you can get that on an axe. Maybe it's really low weighting. No, 200. Everything else is 500. Okay. I've had everything else, but I haven't had that. Didn't know you can get it on the next. Anyway, yeah. So this is a really cool tool. Anyway, if you want to like get into, you can actually like, you know, the way you can sort of craft your own items. It really shows you what's possible and what you know what you can do, and it gives you a better understanding of how items work and stuff as well. But yeah, that's Craft of Exile. Also, another thing is using PoE Trade at the start as well. So let's say you're just starting out the league, and you know you're not starting. Let's say you've hit maps, right, or something, and you've got like 4 chaos. So you got 4 chaos, and you want an axe. So you want a 2-handed melee, which is well, you want an axe. 2-handed axe. And you want it to, you know, and you got 4 chaos to spend on it. Do that, and you can search, and you can order them by DPS at the bottom here. Boneshatter, you want physical DPS, you know, and you could buy like this one, it's 500 DPS X. If you want to spend 4 chaos on it, but 1 chaos, you know, and you can look at that because sometimes it's more, you know, it's worth. Let's say you've got a divine. Sometimes it's worth just buying an axe rather than crafting it yourself if you're in a trade league. You know, because a lot of people throw away. Like, this is a despot axe, and it's, you know, 600 DPS. I mean, for 1 divine, might be worth it. You know, so you wouldn't really want one of these because the attack speed's pretty slow compared to your despot axe. So you can filter for that too. Attack speed. So you want a minimum of like 1.4. So you'll filter out all the slower ones. That's also how you can calculate your DPS as well. If you don't have PoE, Awakened PoE, if you don't have Awakened PoE, you just take the average of this number and then multiply it by your attacks per second, and that's your DPS. So this you'll do. The average of this number is like what, 135 divided by 2 is 67.5 plus, so that'll be like 332.5 times 1.78. Well, I mean, it's that number. It's 591. So yeah, that's so that's how you calculate that. Yeah, with a calculator. If you don't have PoE Awakened, but get PoE Awakened because it's useful for trade and stuff as well. But yeah, I think I've been rambling on enough. If you've got any questions, type in the comments and I'll respond. Thanks for watching, and yeah, take care. Catch you later. Alright, back with some more tempering orbs. So I'll do some more gambling. So I'm after explicit physical. Sweet! Didn't really need that many. Try it on this one. fix the sockets in this later. Sweet, alright, so now that that's done. How much DPS is that now? 1073. Nice. It's not bad at all. And let's have a look at the nice 300 Divine Axe. This one's similar. Oh, take out the white socket. Yeah. Sweet. Cool. So, yeah. This one ended up being more DPS than this one. Which is because I settled for T4. The T4 hybrid. So, but yeah. Crafting this one probably should go for T2 or something. That takes a lot of contempts. Anyway, catch you later. See you.